Former Soviet military bases, once teeming with activity during the Cold War, have been falling into decay in the decades since it ended. But some of the compounds are being reclaimed now by nature in a very creative way, as Oleg Zubkov found out for us.
Beyond the walls of this abandoned top-secret Soviet facility in Ukraine's Republic of Crimea, it's a totally different world today to Cold War times. Oleg Zubkov, a local entrepreneur, has found a much more peaceful way to use 36 hectares of unused space.
This used to be the area of the facility which was top secret. Here satellite intelligence was gathered and stored on powerful computers. Nowadays this area is a children's zoo. There are mini zebras and mini ponies here, as well as parrots and monkeys.
Oleg bought this abandoned base 6 years ago and turned it into a huge safari park, unique for Eastern Europe. His animals occupy buildings which were once used by servicemen. A giraffe now lives in what used to be a boiler room for the entire base, while former top-notch facilities have more exotic inhabitants.
This, for instance, used to be soldiers' living quarters. There were sleeping rooms here. Now they are occupied by monkeys and parrots. Take a look.
Zubkov is not ashamed to capitalize on the widespread fascination for relics of the Soviet era. A former Red Army officer himself, he knows that those bases were built to last, and this concept certainly sells well. That's why his safari park is not only about enjoying a wild nature experience, but also providing more quaint means of entertainment.
A vivid reminder of what exactly used to be here is this anti-nuclear bomb shelter. It had 2 sets of armored doors. This is the first and this is the second. They could have withstood a hit by a 150 kiloton bomb. They are still in great condition. A reserve command point was located here when it was a military base. Now we have remodeled it into a karaoke room. You can sing here until dawn and nobody will hear you from behind these walls.
But clearly the park's main attraction is a large collection of African lions, enjoying themselves in a reconstructed savannah. Oleg took us for a rather thrilling walk inside.
I thought that a lion safari park would work very well in the Crimean environment, and it did. Today we have 54 lions living in our park, 30 in the wild and 24 in cages. It gives a great opportunity for scientific studies. Never before have we had such exclusive access to lions in this part of the world. We have many difficulties, but we're fighting them. It's only our first year. The park has been open for 3 months now. Beware, by the way, there's the pack master lurking behind you there.
While former Soviet bases are taken over by NATO to become once again militarily operational, Zubkov is now thinking of turning another abandoned facility in Crimea into an animal theme park. And despite having already opened several zoos across the peninsula, he says he's not in it for the profit.
This has become my lifestyle. I guess you've got to have a military background and be a little bit crazy to take on a hobby like this. And of course to love animals. My main aim? I guess to learn to communicate with the animals. And it seems to be working out just fine. Yeah, Choli, we are of one blood, you and me, aren't we?
Alexei Rashevsky, RT, reporting from Crimea in Ukraine.